Hey guys, uh, this is Zach Mahoney, and the topic we're going to be talking about today is Parkinson's disease. So, for the reason that I chose this is because, unfortunately, my great grandma, before she passed away, suffered with Parkinson's disease for a really long time. So, I chose to discuss this topic because it has a personal meaning in my life. So, we're going to dive into what exactly Parkinson's disease is. Um, Risk factors, etiology, pathophysiology, and some interventions and prevention methods that I think is be beneficial for this disease. So, moving forward with that, what exactly is Parkinson's disease? So, Parkinson's disease is a neurological condition that results in unintentional or uncontrolled movements, including stiffness, shaking, and trouble balancing and coordinating. Typically, symptoms start off mildly and get worse with time. People may experience difficulties walking and communicating as the condition worsens. Incidence and prevalence of Parkinson's disease. So, the prevalence of Parkinson's disease in the state of Tennessee is approximately 20,400 people. Nationally, is it approximately 500,000 people. And worldwide is approximately 10 million. So as you can see, Tennessee tends to be a little high. And then for the incidence, nationally, there's about 90,000 new cases a year. All right, next. The etiology and pathophysiology of Parkinson's disease. So the etiology. So tremors usually begin in the limbs, most commonly the hands and fingers. Slowed movement known as bradykinesia. Rigid muscles, impaired posture and balance, speech changes, writing changes, and a loss of unconscious movements. Pathophysiology. So, nerve cells in the basal ganglia, an area of the brain that controls movement, become impaired and or die. When these neurons die or become impaired, they produce less dopamine, which causes the movement problems associated with Parkinson's disease. What are some of the risk factors for Parkinson's disease? Some of these risk factors include the biggest risk being advancing age. The average age of onset for this disease is 60 years old. Environmental risk factors such as pesticide or herbicide exposure, prior head injuries, and unfortunately for me, men are more likely to develop Parkinson's disease than women. Okay, so social determinants of health for Parkinson's disease. Some of these social determinants of health, like I said before, the first one being men are more likely to be diagnosed than women. Parkinson's disease prevalence and incidence are greater in urban areas than in rural areas. Incidence and prevalence of Parkinson's disease is substantially higher in the white population than in the black and Asian populations. All right. Prevention methods for Parkinson's include primary prevention being there is an exact primary prevention for Parkinson's disease. This is because the exact cause is unknown and there are no proven ways to prevent it. However, some research shows that regular aerobic exercise may reduce the risk of Parkinson's disease. That'll be coming up later, too, in some of the interventions. So, secondary prevention is addressing early Parkinson's disease signs and symptoms. And then tertiary prevention, which includes maintaining quality of life after the event has happened, mental health therapy, physical therapy, and medications to help alleviate some of those symptoms. All right, next, the evidence based interventions to help with Parkinson's disease. So the biggest one I could find is physical therapy. Physical therapy, which includes strength training, gait and balance training, and regular exercise, may actually assist to help maintain or improve the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. Physical therapy modalities are beneficial to patients with Parkinson's disease include that are beneficial to patients with Parkinson's disease include aerobic exercise, like I mentioned before, resistance training, balance training, flexibility exercises, gait training, task specific training, integrated care, and telerehab. Okay, so some recommendations that I have for that intervention include have all physical therapists have an education class on what is the best practice for patients with Parkinson's disease. So it would be like a mandatory continuing education credit that would benefit both the patients and the therapists so they are more prepared for these patients in the future. And then adding more education on Parkinson's disease in the DPT programs so that the students would come out of the program already equipped with more knowledge of this disease when they graduate. And I think that would be very beneficial for the future generations that come forth. All right, that's all I have. So here are my references. So thank you for listening to me, and I hope that the information found you well.